Hello there, you perfectly lovely muggles. My name is Sarah, and I'm reading from Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. This is the second part of last night's chapter, chapter 15, The Forbidden Forest. The following morning, notes were delivered to Harry, Hermione, and Neville at the breakfast table. They were all the same. Your detention will take place at 11 o'clock tonight. Meet Mr. Filch in the entrance hall, Professor M. McGonagall. Harry had forgotten that they still had detentions to do in the furore over the points that they'd lost. He half expected Hermione to complain that this was a whole night of revision lost, but she didn't say a word. Like Harry, she felt they deserved what they'd got. At 11 o'clock that night, they said goodbye to Ron in the common room and went down to the entrance hall, where Neville, Filch were already there, and so was Malfoy. Harry had also forgotten that Malfoy had got detention too. "Follow me," said Filch, lighting a lamp and leading them outside. "I bet you think twice about breaking a school rule again, won't you, eh?" He continued leering at them. "Oh, yeah, hard work and pain. The best teachers of all, if you ask me. Just a pity they let the old punishments die out. Hang you by your wrists from the ceiling for a few days. I've got the chains still in my office. Keep 'em well oiled, just in case they're ever needed." Right, off we go. And don't think of running off. It'll be worse for you if you do. They marched off across the dark grounds. Neville kept sniffing. Harry wondered what their punishment was going to be. It must be something really horrible, or Filch wouldn't be sounding so delighted. The moon was bright, but clouds scudding across it kept throwing them into darkness. Ahead, Harry could see the lighted windows of Hagrid's hut. Then they heard the distant shout. "Is that you, Filch? Hurry up, I want to get started." Harry's heart rose. If they were going to be working with Hagrid, it wouldn't be so bad. His relief must have showed in his face because Filch said, "Oh, I suppose you'll think you'll be enjoying yourself with that oaf. Well, think again, boy. Because it is into the forest that you're going, and if I'm much mistaken, you won't come out in one piece." At this, Neville let out a little moan, and Malfoy stopped dead in his tracks. "The forest," he repeated. It didn't sound quite as cool as usual. "We can't go in there at night. There are all sorts of things in there. Werewolves, I heard." Neville clutched the sleeves of Harry's robe and made a choking noise. "Well, that is your lookout, isn't it?" said Filch, his voice crackling with glee. "Should have thought of them werewolves before you got into trouble, shouldn't you?" Hagrid came striding towards them out of the dark, Fang at his heel. He was carrying his large crossbow, and a quiver of arrows hung over his shoulders. Hagrid came striding towards them out of the dark. "About time," he said. "I've been waiting for half an hour already. All right, Harry, Hermione." "I shouldn't be too friendly to them, Hagrid," said Filch coldly. "They are here to be punished, after all." "That's why you're late, is it?" said Hagrid, frowning at Filch. "Been lecturing them again, eh? It's not your place to do that. You've done your bit. I'll take over from here." "I'll be back at dawn," said Filch, "for what's left of them," he added nastily, and he turned and started back towards the castle, his lamp bobbing away in the darkness. Malfoy now turned to Hagrid. "I am not going in the forest," he said, and Harry was pleased to hear a note of panic in his voice. "You are, if you want to stay at Hogwarts," said Hagrid. "You've done wrong, and now you've got to pay for it." "But this is servant stuff. It's not for students to do. I thought we'd be writing lines or something. If my father knew what I was doing, he'd tell you that that's how it is at Hogwarts," Hagrid growled. "Writing lines, what good's that to anyone? You'll do something useful or you'll get out. If you think your father would rather you were expelled than get back to the castle, unpack. Go on." Malfoy didn't move. He looked at Hagrid furiously, but then dropped his gaze. "Right then," said Hagrid. "Now listen carefully, 'cause it's dangerous what we're going to do tonight, and I don't want no one taking risks. Follow me over here a moment." He led them to the very edge of the forest, Holding his lamp up high, he pointed down a narrow, winding earth track that disappeared into the thick black trees. A light breeze lifted their hair as they looked into the forest. "Look here," said Hagrid. "See that stuff shining on the ground? Silvery stuff. That is unicorn's blood. There's a unicorn in here been hurt badly by summit. This is the second time this week. I found one dead last Wednesday. We're going to try and find the poor thing, and we might have to put her out of its misery." "And what if whatever hurt the unicorn finds us first?" said Malfoy, unable to keep the fear out of his voice. "There's nothing that lives in the forest that will hurt you if you're with me or Fang," said Hagrid. "And keep to the path. Right now we're going to split into two parties and follow the trail in different directions. There's blood all over the place. It must have been staggering around since last night at least." "I want Fang," said Malfoy quickly, looking at Fang's long teeth. "All right, but I warn you, he's a coward," said Hagrid. "So me, Harry and Hermione go one way, and Draco, Neville and Fang all go the other. Now, if any of us finds a unicorn, we'll send up green sparks, right? Get your wands out and practice now, that's it. And if anyone gets into trouble, send up red sparks. And we'll all come and find you. So be careful, let's go." The forest was black and silent. A little way into it, they reached a fork in the earth. And Harry, Hermione and Hagrid took the left path, while Malfoy, Neville and Fang took the right. They walked in silence, their eyes on the ground, and every now and then a ray of moonlight came through the branches above to light a spot of silver-blue blood on the fallen leaves. Harry saw that Hagrid looked very worried. "Could a werewolf be killing the unicorns?" Harry said. "Not fast enough," said Hagrid. "It's not easy to catch a unicorn. They're powerful magic creatures. I never knew one to be hurt before." They walked past a mossy tree stump, and Harry could hear running water. There must be a stream somewhere close by. There were spots of unicorn blood here and there along the winding path. "You're all right, Hermione," Hagrid whispered. "Don't worry. It can't have gone far if it's that badly hurt, and then we'll be able to—" "Get behind that tree!" Hagrid seized Harry and Hermione and hoisted them off the path behind a towering oak. He pulled out an arrow and fitted it into his crossbow, raising it ready to fire. All three of them listened. Something was slithering over dead leaves nearby. It sounded like a cloak trailing along the ground. Hagrid was squinting up the dark path, but after a few seconds the sound faded away. "I knew it," he murmured. "There's something in here that shouldn't be." "A werewolf?" Harry suggested. "That wasn't no werewolf, and it wasn't no unicorn neither," said Hagrid grimly. "Right, follow me, but careful now." They walked more slowly, ears straining for the faintest sound. Suddenly, in a clearing ahead, something definitely moved. "Who's there?" Hagrid called. "Show yourself! I'm armed!" And into the clearing was it a man or a horse? To the waist, a man with red hair and a beard, and below that was a horse's gleaming chestnut body with a long reddish tail. Harry and Hermione's jaws dropped. "Oh, it's you, Ronan," said Hagrid in relief. "How are you?" He walked forward and shook the centaur's hand. "Good evening to you," Hagrid said. Ronan. He had a deep, sorrowful voice. "Were you going to shoot me?" "Can't be too careful, Ronan," said Hagrid, patting his crossbow. "There's something bad loose in this forest. This is Harry Potter and Hermione Granger, by the way. Students up at the school. And this is Ronan. He's a centaur." "We noticed," said Hermione faintly. "Good evening," said Ronan. "Students, are you? And do you learn much up at the school?" A bit," said Hermione timidly. "A bit. Well, that's something," Ronan sighed, flung back his head and stared at the sky. "Mars is bright tonight." "Yeah," said Hagrid, glancing up too. "Listen, I'm glad we've run into you, Ronan, because there's a unicorn been hurt. You seen anything? Ronan didn't answer immediately. He stared unblinkingly upwards and then sighed. Always the innocent are the first victims, he said. So it has been for ages past, so it is now. Yeah, said Hagrid. But have you seen anything, Ronan? Anything unusual? Mars is bright tonight, Ronan repeated while Hagrid watched him impatiently. Unusually bright. Yeah, but I was meaning anything unusual a bit nearer home, said Hagrid. So you haven't noticed anything strange? Yet again, Ronan took a while to answer. At last he said, the forest hides many secrets. Whoa. Right, I'm going to leave that one there, and I will continue that tomorrow night. So please, please carry on washing your hands, cleaning your teeth, and then snuggle yourself into bed. Give yourself a great big huge cuddle. I'll see you tomorrow. Night night.